Now in this video, I'm going to show you how just to get started with After Effects timeline. So the first thing you're going to do, you're not going to use the new composition again. You're just going to use the composition setup of the image you're going to import. So I'll just double click here and import the image. And I'll just, after that, I'll just drag it in the timeline like that. Then after that, you can always, I want to show you how you can always work with the timeline for more effectiveness. But make sure you come to the Windows here and arrange your workspace. So if you come to Windows and go here, there's so many workspaces that you can use, but I'll prefer you to use the default one. You can also try other ones. Maybe if you are going to do something to do with the text so much, if you do that, it will give you an interface that is only based for the text. So I'll just come back to the default one that we're going to use today here. Now under the timeline here, you can see the time is indicated there. I think the composition that you're using is 30 seconds. It is using the last composition that you used in the last project. So if you want to maybe to zoom out and see exactly maybe into milliseconds or so frame rates, you can always use this slider here. If you do that, you can always come like this. You can always use this one to go to the end and also come to the beginning. You can also use this one here to zoom in and zoom out at the same time. So, and then at the end here, maybe you just want a section that to work with. You can always use this just to get you the area that maybe you want to work with. Maybe I just want to work with around 10 seconds. So I'll just drag this one here. Maybe I put it 5 seconds. So if I play here, maybe just put the cursor here. If I play here, it will just go there and bounce back. So you can use this to determine the area that you want to use. Maybe let me just use the around 10 seconds that I want to use. Then there's this eye here. If you click it, it will make the image to disappear. If you have many aspects, you can always do that. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to draw an ellipse. So I'll just click here. Make sure make sure you click on the empty space, then you come here and then I'll just hold shift. If you hold shift and draw it to give you a perfect circle like that. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to place it maybe somewhere here. I want you to emulate the sun. So let me just adjust it a little bit. If I want to adjust it, I hold shift again so that it adjusts proportionally. Then I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to come to the effects here. I want to use an effect called the glow. I want it to glow. So you'll just come and type glow. Of course, I'll talk about the effect later on, but for this, I'll just come and just drag this glow effect there, and then I'll just make it glow, maybe increase the glow, something like that. Then I'll just close the effects. Then, of course, if you're very keen, it will give you more options. It will give you more options there, like the content, the transform that is there. So the next thing I'm going to do, you realize the timeline is always arranged in cascades. The one that was on top will always appear above the one at the bottom. For example, now if I close this one here, it will disappear, the eye. Maybe if I want to just focus on this, if I just want to focus on the sun, I'll just click this one here and the other one will disappear, so that it gives you an ample time to focus on this. Maybe if I just want to focus on this, the other one will disappear. If I click all of them will appear. So I'll just remove them so that I just have them like that. That's how to use the timeline. Then of course, maybe this time I want to make some simple animation. I told you if you click this one here and come to transform, there this normal simple animation. For example, if I want to change the position, use P. I just click P and it will give me the position. And maybe I want to also change the scale, or I want to rotate it. If you want to all of them to appear at the same time, you'll hold shift and click. Maybe I want to scale, or I want to rotate, maybe just scale. I'll put S. If I want also the rotation to appear, I'll hold shift again and press R. If I want the anchor point to appear, I'll hold transparency, I'll hold shift and press T. And if I want the anchor point, I'll hold shift and A. So all of them will appear like that, although you can always access them also here. So I told you if you want to access P, you'll just position. So I'll just click P and I'll put keyframe. Maybe on the first one here, I'll click here to create a free frame. You always click this clock, something like a clock here, to create the keyframe. Then you'll just move. Another shortcut also I want to show you is if you want to move maybe some 10 frames. For example, if I zoom this one here up to here, it will now start giving me frame rates. Frame rates is how many frames that it moves in a second. So for example, I'll hold shift and page down, it will move. Shift and page down, it will move around 10 frames. So I'll put another keyframe there. I'll just put another keyframe there, just click there. I'll just click this one, then maybe I'll move it like that. So if I play, it will move that quickly. Maybe at the same time I want to, when it's moving, I want it to scale down. So I'll hold shift R, so shift S for me to access the scale. So I'll put a click this stopwatch here, it will give me a keyframe. Then of course again I'll hold shift page down so that I move another 10 frames. So I'll make it, maybe I'll try to adjust it. Me undo, or you just undo by Control Z. I'll click, hold shift, maybe adjust it, maybe make it smaller. I don't know whether it's, you see the changes. Okay, let me just make it bigger. Another thing, you see the anchor point influences where how it's going to behave. So I'll press Y so that I'm able to adjust it. Give me this something like this, then I'm able to adjust the anchor point. So the anchor point will be in the middle. So again, I'll come to the scale and maybe make it, come back to the selection tool, hold, click one of the sides, then hold shift, I'll make it smaller. So if I, and again I said you use page down to move 10 frames. If you want to go back, you use page up. So I'll hold shift, page up. So you see it's going back. So you see it's that's how it is behaving. Now let's say I want to cut somewhere in the timeline. Maybe I want to cut somewhere in the timeline here. What do? You'll just come here, hold shift Control D. It will cut the thread in the timeline here, as you can see. So if I play this one like this, and let's say maybe I delete this one here, so I'm remaining with that. So if I play like that, at some point it disappears because now there's nothing in the timeline. So guys, that's how to use the timeline. You can always also, there are more options here. For example, if you want to access other options, you just click here, it will give you more options, like maybe like these ones here. Maybe you want to do 3D. If you click also this one, it will give you more options, give you these options, and it will give you options. Some of these options we'll talk about later on, but for now let me just close it like that. What about if you want to duplicate this one here? If you want to duplicate an object, you use Control D. So I'll just press Control D, then there'll be two of them. Then of course they're always you duplicate and it will give you two of them, and they're always on top of each other. So for you to just separate them, just drag here. So that's how to duplicate an object. And also when you duplicate, they inherit the same kind of animation. And then also another aspect, press U on your keyboard and it will give you all the animation or all the keyframes that you want to access so that you're able. For example, if you click on the object, then you press U. Then of course it will just give you all the aspects that you used there. So guys, that's how to use the timeline in Adobe After Effects. Watch the previous video that I made about how to get started with Adobe After Effects, and also watch I'm trying to make more videos. This is the second video. I'm trying to help these people who are starting out in After Effects. See you in the next video.